Hello friends, good afternoon. Hi, this is Alok Ojha. Welcome to StudyIQ IAS English. Today we are going to understand one of the most important chapters of modern Indian history, that is Revolt of 1857. Here we are going to study about the causes for Revolt of 1857. Why Red Lotus and Chapati was a symbol for Revolt of 1857. The important leaders of the Revolt of 1857 and the contributions given by them. Particularly Rani Lakshmi Bai ji, Tatya Tope ji, Begum Hazrat Mahal ji, Avanti Bai ji, and so on. Apart from this, we are also going to study the course of the revolt. How did the revolt spread majorly in the northern part of India? Okay. For the students who are new to the platform, let me tell you one important fact. You can download the PDF from my Telegram channel, that is history_Alok Ojha. I repeat, you can download the PDF from the Telegram channel history_Alok Ojha. Okay guys, I have already covered major parts of ancient India. Please also have a look at those parts. Apart from this, please have a pen and paper along with you so that we can understand the important concepts and you can note it down. Okay guys, now without wasting any more time, let's begin with today's session, Revolt of 1857. Now, the first question that crops up in the mind of every aspirant, that what are the major causes for Revolt of 1857? Was Revolt of 1857 basically caused due to one important factor, or was it amalgamation of different factors? Correct? So we'll explore this today. Now, before I tell you about the Revolt of 1857, I would like to tell you two important events which are precursors to the Revolt of 1857. And one is Vellore Mutiny of 1806, which took place during the time of Governor General of Bengal, Sir George Barlow. If you remember the Governor Generals, we have studied that in quite depth and detail. So what is Vellore Mutiny all about? In the region of Vellore, foolish orders were passed by two British commanders, Lord Hodown and Sir John Cradock. And what orders did they pass? Particularly, Hindus cannot apply caste marks or Hindus cannot wear the caste marks. Hindus cannot apply the tilak on the forehead. Muslims cannot wear the holy cap. They compulsorily need to shave their chin. So particularly the Brahmins and the Muslims felt that they were forcefully getting Christianized. And the soldiers at Vellore, they revolted against the Britishers under the leadership of Fateh Haidar. And this event in the history of modern India is referred as Vellore Mutiny of 1806, which was being suppressed by Colonel Gillespie. And particularly, there's a poem written on Gillespie by Henry Newbolt. And this is referred as Vellore Mutiny, which took place during the time of Sir George Barlow. Another important event that we had seen prior to this was Barakpur Mutiny, which took place in 1824. Now, what is Barakpur Mutiny all about? Barakpur Mutiny took place during the time of Governor General Lord Amherst. Particularly speaking, at that time, Burma was following the policy of expansionism. It was following the policy of imperialism, and continuously it was trying to extend its territories. Now, Burma, particularly, it is believed that initially it had the intention of capturing Siam or Thailand. But Siam or Thailand was a very good friend of China. So it abandoned the plan of capturing Siam. Now they had a plan to capture India, and they underestimated the power of English East India Company. And since they underestimated the power of English East India Company, it is believed that they conquered certain regions of northeastern India, particularly Assam and Manipur. At that time, Lord Amherst immediately sent the forces by land route as well as by the sea route. Okay? And after this is referred as First Anglo-Burma War, and Treaty of Yandabu was signed. It is believed that 200 soldiers under the leadership of Baba Binda revolted against the Britishers. Why? Because particularly when the army was dispatched by sea route, there were many Brahmins in the army. And for them, if a person crosses the sea, he would be outcasted. And they refer it as Kala Pani. 200 soldiers revolted against the Britishers under the leadership of Binda. And this is referred as Barakpur Mutiny. The mutiny was suppressed by Sir Edward Peggott. It is believed that 200 soldiers, basically they were being defeated, and Baba Binda was hanged to a peepal tree. The place where Baba Binda was hanged, today there stands a temple dedicated to Lord Hanuman. And the temple is referred as Baba Binda Mandir. So, two major events, Vellore Mutiny of 1806 and Barakpur Mutiny of 1824 are the precursors to the revolt of 1857. Now, what were the major factors that led to revolt of 1857? Let's explore. First, economic causes. There was no single Indian section of the Indian society that was not hampered by the policies of the Britishers. Rather it be the artisans, rather it be the peasants, cultivators or the farmers or the common man. Britishers had completely paralyzed the rural industry by their policies. Like we had seen, Zamindari system, Rayatwari system and Mahalwari system. The average taxation at that time was 60 to 66%. Average I am saying you. Correct? In Zamindari system, what used to happen? We had discussed in quite depth and detail, but I'll still explain in short. In Zamindari system, English East India Company directly did not collect the revenue from the peasant. They appointed Zamindar who will act as a middleman between company on one side and the peasant on the other side. Now, Zamindar will keep his commission, that is 11%, and rest 89% of the revenue will go to the company. Correct? So, in simple words, in very simple words, Zamindar, he was given the complete authority. Fixed rate and fixed date. The company requires this much amount of money. And in that case, if the peasants are unable to pay the revenue, irrespective of the factor, the revenue would be collected from the Zamindar. And Zamindar used to exploit the peasants a lot. Rayatwari system. Here, English East India Company directly collected the revenue from the peasant. And the land was categorized into three categories. Can you imagine? 40 to 45% was a tax on the barren land, unfertile land. 60 to 66% was a tax on the fertile land under Rayatwari system. In that case, again the peasants fell prey to the money lenders. How? If the peasants are unable to pay the revenue to the company would obviously seize their land. And to protect their land from getting seized, what will the peasants do? Peasants will go to the money lenders. And in that case, if the peasants are unable to pay the loan to money lender, along with the interest rate, money lender will, seize the land of the peasant. So here under Rayatwari system, peasants are dually exploited. Mahalwari system, the tax was collected from the entire Mahal, entire village, and it was averagely 66%. Correct? So the land revenue system was quite exploitative in character. Correct? Apart from this, Britishers through their policies had completely paralyzed the rural industry. I'll give you a small example to make you things understand better. Just a second, guys. Now, I had given you this example n number of times previously. I'll give you this example again. And this was highlighted for the first time in the coming years, 1896 by Dada Bhai Navroji. Simple words, this is referred as drain of wealth. What is this? Majorly, there are two types of agriculture. Commercialized agriculture and subsistence agriculture. As a peasant, I'll cultivate only those crops which are useful for sustaining my life. That is subsistence agriculture. But commercialized agriculture, as the name suggests, I will cultivate those crops which are high in demand in the national as well as international market. Tobacco, poppy, opium, sugarcane. All these are high in demand in the national as well as international market. Tobacco was a crop introduced by Portuguese in India. Correct? So, suppose one of the crop is cotton. Now, Britishers have told me as a peasant, I am giving an example. Now, Britishers have told me, cultivate cotton and before harvest of the cotton, we are going to pay you ₹5. Now my crop is ready for harvest. Now Britishers are saying me, we will either pay you ₹1 or 2. If you want to sell it, sell it, otherwise keep it. There was like basically lack of capital intensive industries in India. I am forced to sell the cotton at a petty price of rupees 1 or 2. Now this cotton will go to Manchester or Liverpool. From here it will go to London and it will get converted into manufactured textile. The fine quality textile will go to USA. The cheap, substandard, inferior quality textile will come to India. And it would be sold at a very high price of rupees 10. Can you imagine? The market for raw material is India. And the market for finished product or the finished good is India. In a very systematic manner, in a very methodological manner, India's resources are being drained out of India. And in the coming years, this was highlighted for the first time by Dada Bhai Navroji in his book Poverty and Un-British Rule in India. This is also highlighted by R.C. Dutt in his book Economic History of India. Correct? So basically seeing like some or the other way, Britishers were trying to exploit every section of the Indian society. Then comes the political causes. Now, what are the major political causes? Let's understand. Subsidiary alliance system, if you remember about Lord Wellesley, Second Anglo-Maratha War took place during the time of Lord Wellesley. Lord Wellesley started the Fort William College to train the newly recruited civil servants at Fort William College rather than Hailbury College in London. Correct? So, this person, Lord Wellesley, he started subsidiary alliance system. And what was this system? We have seen this in quite depth and detail. The Britishers would be referred as a paramount power. And the Indian states would be referred as protected states. Correct? Britishers would be referred as paramount power and the Indian states would be referred as protected states. There would be a British resident in the court of the ruler. His revenue needs to be paid by the whom? By the ruler. The ruler cannot enter into any mutual friendship or any treaty without the permission of the Britishers with any European power. In simple words, subsidiary alliance system is nothing but surrendering one's sovereignty. Correct? Another important system, doctrine of lapse system. This came up during the time of Lord Dalhousie, if you remember guys. Lord Dalhousie, whose original name was James Andrew Ramsay. He is considered as the youngest Governor General. True? So doctrine of lapse system came up during the time of Dalhousie. And what was doctrine of lapse system? Under doctrine of lapse system, if any ruler does not have a legal male heir, his kingdom would be annexed by the Britishers. Hundreds of kingdoms were annexed under the pretext of doctrine of lapse. Satara, Udaipur, Jaipur, Jhansi, Nagpur, Awadh. In fact, the Nawab of Awadh, that is Nawab Wajid Ali Shah, he had a legal male heir, British Qadir. But still Britishers annexed what we say the region of Awadh on what pretext? Like Awadh, they annexed the region of Awadh on the pretext of maladministration and misrule. You are not able to take care of the administration properly. So we'll take care of the administration. This simply highlights one thing. The pro-imperialistic approach followed by the Britishers. Correct? Apart from this, name of Bahadur Shah Zafar was removed from the coins during the time of Dalhousie. When Lord Canning, he became the last Governor General and the first Viceroy, what did he do? He declared that Mughals have to, what we say, vacate all the ancestral palaces. Apart from this, the successors of Bahadur Shah Zafar won't be called as emperor. They would just be called as a prince. That's it. So these became the major political causes. Grievances of sepoys. If you remember Lord William Bentinck, correct? Lord William Bentinck, he is considered as the first Governor General of India. During the time of Lord William Bentinck, Exchequer or the Treasury was suffering a loss of 1 million rupees, approximately around 10 lakh rupees. Correct? So Lord William Bentinck, he initially halved the salaries of all the officials. Apart from this, he completely cancelled double batta system, which is also referred as foreign service allowance. Now, what is double batta system or foreign service allowance? Suppose as a soldier, I am recruited into the region of Bengal. And if I am sent to the region of Sindh to fight a war, if I'm sent to Europe to fight a war, I was given extra allowances or incentives. And these allowances or incentives were referred as double bhatta. Lord William Bentinck completely cancelled the double bhatta system. Correct? All the higher posts were being acquired by the Englishmen. Suppose if I am inducted into the British Indian Army as a Subedar, I will retire as a Subedar or probably a higher rank above it. And suppose if an Englishman is recruited to the post of second lieutenant or lieutenant, he would retire as a brigadier, colonel, lieutenant colonel, and so on. So there was a discrimination on the basis of color of the skin. And this is basically referred as racial discrimination system. And judiciary and police both were biased towards Britishers. Apart from this, religious causes, if you remember Charter Act 1813, and we have discussed n number of times about Charter Act 1813. As per Charter Act 1813, Britishers were allowed to come in India, Christian missionaries were allowed to come in India and preach Christianity. One has the right to preach Christianity, propagate Christianity, but they do not have the right for forceful conversion into Christianity. Britishers came up with different acts such as Religious Disabilities Act 1850. And as per Religious Disabilities Act 1850, one cannot inherit his ancestral property if he is not converted into Christianity. Apart from this, General Service Enlistment Act. Now, what is General Service Enlistment Act 1856 all about? As I have told you, I gave you the example of Barakpur mutiny, if you remember. Crossing the sea means losing one's caste. Correct? And as per this General Service Enlistment Act, person who is recruited into the British Indian Army has to serve anywhere as required by the government. Apart from this, they won't be given any double bhatta, that is foreign service allowances. Correct? The mosques were being taxed, the temples were being taxed. So, some or the other way, we felt that we people were getting forcefully Christianized. Correct? Apart from this, administrative causes, like I'll give you few examples. Like there was a system called as Maria system. If you remember, Lord Harding, there's a system called as Maria system, oftenly referred as particularly human sacrifice system. And this system was practiced by Kand tribe or Kui tribe. Okay, Kand tribe or Kui tribe. And particularly in Maria system, they went for human sacrifice. And Lord Harding stopped this practice. So there was an uprising which is referred as Kand uprising or Kond uprising or Kui uprising. Correct. Because the tribals felt that who are Britishers to interfere in our tribal policies. Education system that came to India, correct, although it helped us a lot in the coming years, but initially we felt that English education was imposed on the people of India to convert them into Christianity. Widow Remarriage Act that was brought out by Lord Dalhousie, correct. Again here we felt that who are Britishers to interfere in our traditional beliefs and system. So these are the administrative causes. Apart from this, basic foreignness of the Britishers, like I'll give you a small example. The first Muslim invader was Muhammad bin Qasim. He was followed by Mahmud of Ghazni and then comes Muhammad Ghori. Later on, there was rule of Delhi Sultanate in the form of 5 different dynasties like the Slave Dynasty, Khilji Dynasty, Tughlaq Dynasty, Sayyid Dynasty and Lodi Dynasty. Apart from this, there was a rule of Mughals which initiated with the rule of Babur. So basically, the outsiders or particularly the Muslim invaders who came to India, they made India their home. But here Britishers, they followed the policy of racial segregation or racial discrimination. Correct? So racial superiority was another important factor. And what is racial discrimination? Discrimination on the basis of color of the skin. Nana Sahib Peshwaji, he had a different cause. And what was the major cause of Nana Sahib Peshwaji? Like it is believed that Nana Sahib Peshwaji, he was adopted son of Peshwa Bajirao II. After 3rd Anglo-Maratha War, Peshwa Bajirao II has retired to the region of Bithur, which is located in Kanpur. And he was given an annual pension of 8 lakh rupees by the Britishers. After death of Peshwa Bajirao II, Britishers denied giving the pension to Nana Sahib Peshwa. Nana Sahib Peshwa sent one of his close associates, Azimullah Khan, to negotiate with the Britishers. Forget about negotiating, Britishers did not hear any further demands of Nana Sahib Peshwa. So Nana Sahib Peshwa ji had a strong vengeance against the Britishers. Now finally, there was a spurt for the revolt. And what became the major spurt for the revolt is a rifle. What became the immediate cause? Like Britishers had introduced a rifle which is referred as Queen's Enfield rifle. And the Queen's Enfield rifle had a cartridge, it had a coating. And this coating needs to be bitten off by the teeth before loading it. Now, there was a rumor, or it might be the truth, that the cartridge had the coating of what? Pig fat and cow fat. Pig is considered taboo among Muslims and cow is sacred to Hindus. Apart from this, Britishers started adding bone dust into the atta or the flour. And the news of this Queen's Enfield rifle spread like a wildfire in the northern part of India, particularly in the region of Barakpur and in the region of Behrampur, around the region of Punjab. Correct? Now what happened further? Let's understand. Hope so the points are clear till here, guys. Yes, any query, any question, any sort of doubt? Yes, guys. Now, by 9th March 1857, the sepoys of 19th Bengal Infantry at Behrampur, they refused to accept the greased cartridges. The entire unit was court-martialed. Entire unit. And this news reached Meerut, because now the artillery headquarters was Meerut. If you remember Lord Dalhousie had transferred the artillery headquarters from Calcutta to Meerut, from where these rifles had come. Okay. And the commanding officer was General Greg Anson. For the sake of the soldiers, he said that I'll conduct a detailed inquiry on this. And till then, the use of the grease cartridges or the use of the Queen's Enfield rifle, I'm stopping. Now the news reached on 23rd March, after that 29th March, to the region of Barakpur. And there was a soldier of Barakpur whose name was Mangal Pandey. He went on a rampage. He was a soldier of 34th Bengal Native Infantry. He went on a rampage, like whoever European he saw, he started hitting them. And he was also supported by another person whose name was Isrul Pandey. Mangal Pandey ji, he was being caught. A trial was conducted against him. And finally, Mangal Pandey ji became the first martyr of Mother India on 8th April 1857. Isrul Pandey, he became the second martyr of Mother India on 11th April 1857. And there was a person who provided all the information to the Britishers. His name was Paltu Khan. Okay? The martyrhood of Mangal Pandey ji and Isrul Pandey ji spread like a wildfire in the northern part of India. 85 sepoys from the region of Meerut gave the slogan of Dilli Chalo, and they started moving towards the region of Delhi, because they had chosen Bahadur Shah Zafar as their representative. On 10th May 1857, 85 sepoys marched towards the region of Delhi. Correct? On the way, they killed Simon Fraser, Lieutenant Willig Bai, Colonel Ripley. Finally, they reached the region of Delhi. And when they reached Delhi, Bahadur Shah Zafar was 82 years age by now. So, Bahadur Shah Zafar said, like, I would be the face or representative of Revolt of 1857. But since I have grown quite old, I want my son to be representative here. And his son's name was Mirza Zahiruddin. But Mirza Zahiruddin, he was not that experienced personality. So the soldiers chose General Bakht Khan. Meanwhile, there were 50 to 52 soldiers who were made as a captive in what we say Red Fort by Bahadur Shah Zafar. All these 50 to 52 soldiers were being killed. They were European soldiers. Now Britishers felt that it is necessary to keep our families safe now. And there is one incident that is mentioned in very few books of the history, and that is referred as Sati Chaura Ghat massacre or Bibika Ghar massacre. What is this massacre all about? The first priority now for the European family was to keep their families safe. So they moved towards the region of Kanpur. They had a plan. From Kanpur they'll move to Allahabad to Calcutta, and from Calcutta through Southeast Asia. Correct? At this point of time, more than 200 European families, they were kept in the fort of Kanpur. And now they had a plan to move towards the region of Prayagraj, Allahabad and Calcutta and so on. Nana Sahib Peshwaji came to know about this. And the number of rebel soldiers by now was 2,500 to 3,000 soldiers. Correct? I have already told you Nana Sahib Peshwaji had a vengeance against the Britishers. And why? Britishers had denied paying the pension of 8 lakh rupees annually to Nana Sahib Peshwa. Nana Sahib Peshwa reached the Sati Chaura Ghat, which is located near the Kanpur fort. At that time, district collector was Charles Hillersdon. Nana Sahib Peshwa met Charles Hillersdon, and during the negotiations, he said that this is a matter between the company and the rebels. And I promise that we will come to some or the other conclusion, but please give a safe passage to the European families. As soon as the family started moving towards the, Sati Chaura Ghat, 3,000 rebel soldiers, they attacked the European families. And after this, it is believed that Britishers followed a very, very brutal policy of suppression. Very brutal policy of suppression. And this event in the history of modern India, particularly related to Revolt of 1857, is referred as Bibika Ghar massacre or Sati Chaura Ghat massacre as a part of Revolt of 1857. Hope so you understood the causes and the course of Revolt of 1857. Correct, guys? Now let's understand about the important leaders of Revolt of 1857. Bahadur Shah, Zafar and Bakht Khan. Hope the points are clear till here. Any query, any concern, any doubt, please let me know. Yes, guys. Now, what was the symbol for Revolt of 1857? Any idea? I had given you a hint a while back. Red lotus and chapati was a symbol of Revolt of 1857. Lotus, basically, it's a symbol of victory. It's a sign of victory. But why chapati? And why Revolt of 1857 is referred as Chapati Revolution? Have you pondered about this any time? Have you heard about this? That Revolt of 1857 is also referred as Chapati Revolution. Why it is referred as Chapati Revolution? Have you pondered upon it anytime, guys? Let me tell you one thing. It is believed that around 1848-1849, there was a district magistrate in the region of Mathura whose name was Mark Thornhill. Now, Mark Thornhill had observed one thing, that there was a person, he used to come up with few chapatis and he used to give these chapatis to the village watchman. Now, this village watchman, what he used to do, he used to distribute the chapatis in some homes, and he used to collect chapatis from some home, and he used to go to the next village and he used to give these chapatis to the next village watchman, and he would do the same. And this became a practice particularly in the entire northern part of India. Correct. Along with chapatis, these village watchmen also provided certain crucial information which was passed on from one village to the other. Hence, Revolt of 1857 is also referred as Chapati Revolution. And this is also observed by another person whose name was Dr. Gilbert Haddo. So there were two people who observed this, Mark Thornhill and Dr. Gilbert Haddo. Hence, red lotus and chapati became the symbol for Revolt of 1857. Correct? So now let's understand about the role of Bahadur Shah Zafar in the revolt of 1857. Hope so the points are clear till here, guys. Now Bahadur Shah Zafar, he was the last Mughal emperor and he became Mughal emperor at the age of 62. When there was revolt of 1857, it is believed that he was approximately around 87 years of age. Okay. Now, the 85 sepoys that started their journey from the region of Meerut and they came to Delhi, they chose Bahadur Shah Zafar as their representative. Since Bahadur Shah Zafar was very old by now, he chose his son Mirza Zahiruddin, but Mirza Zahiruddin, he did not, or he lacked military experience. So people chose General Bakht Khan. Now Bahadur Shah Zafar, as I have told you, after Sati Chaura Ghat massacre, Britishers followed a very brutal policy of suppression. And Britishers came to know that the sepoys have reached the court of Bahadur Shah Zafar. And Bahadur Shah Zafar, along with his wife Zeenat Mahal, he moved from the region of Red Fort and he he was hiding in the Humayun's tomb. Now Britishers, like the British commanding officers particularly, they reached where? They reached Humayun's tomb. How did the English commanding officer knew that this person is hiding in Humayun's tomb along with his wife Zeenat Mahal? Because Bahadur Shah Zafar had a personal physician whose name was Hakim Ehsanullah Khan. And Hakim Ehsanullah Khan provided the entire information to the Britishers. And from here they came to know that this person, Bahadur Shah Zafar, he is hiding along with his wife Zeenat Mahal in Humayun's tomb. Finally, he was being caught and a trial was conducted against Bahadur Shah Zafar in his own home, Red Fort. First trial to be conducted in the Red Fort by the Britishers. Okay, and Bahadur Shah Zafar was charged on many charges. First thing, you have encouraged the sepoys, you have aided the mutiny, you have provided them the money and the weapons, and you are responsible for murdering this 50 to 52 European officers, because on your instructions, the soldiers have killed the European soldiers and the officers. So, since you are old by now, we are not going to kill you, but we will give you we are not going to give you death penalty, but we will give you life imprisonment. Bahadur Shah Zafar and his wife Zeenat Mahal, they were given life imprisonment. And from now, they moved towards the region of Allahabad to Calcutta. And from Calcutta, they moved towards the region of Burma. They moved to the region of Burma along with Lieutenant Omani. Okay? And they moved on the region, they moved to the region of Burma along with Lieutenant Omani on the ship named Moghera. Finally, at the 87 years of age, Bahadur Shah Zafar died. So this was majorly about Bahadur Shah Zafar from the region of Delhi. Okay. Rani Lakshmi Bai, one of the most important characters of revolt of 1857, and everyone knows about her. Correct? What was the original name of Rani Lakshmi Bai? Yes, guys, take a wild guess. What was the original name of Rani Lakshmi Bai ji? Yes, Manikarnika ji. Rani Lakshmi Bai's original name was Manikarnika, and she was born in Marathi Brahmin family. Her father's name was Moropant Tambe and her mother's name was Bhagirathi Bai. At the very young age, his mother Bhagirathi Bai passed away. And his father used to work as a noble in the court of Peshwa Bajirao II in the region of Bithur, Kanpur. Correct? Now, Moropanta Tambe, basically he along with his daughter migrated to the region of Kanpur. And she was raised along with Nana Sahib Peshwa and Tatya Tope. In simple words, Tatya Tope ji and Nana Sahib Peshwa, Rani Lakshmi Bai were childhood friends. Rani Lakshmi Bai was expert in horse riding, shooting, archery, fencing. Pawan, Badal and Sarangi were the name of the horses of Rani Lakshmi Bai. At the very young age of 14 to 15 years, she was married to Maharaja of Jhansi, whose name was Gangadhar Rao. Okay, and from now onwards, she was referred as Lakshmi Bai. Correct? After few months of the marriage or after few years of the marriage, she was blessed with a baby boy whose name was Damodar Rao. I repeat, she was blessed with a boy named as Damodar Rao, but unfortunately, 3 to 4 months after his birth, Damodar Rao passed away. And this completely shook Rani Lakshmi Bai and Maharaja Gangadhar Rao, Maharaja of Jhansi. So Gangadhar Rao had a cousin whose name was Vasudev Rao, correct? And Vasudev Rao had a son named as Anand Rao. I repeat, Maharaja of Jhansi, Gangadhar Rao, was married to Rani Lakshmi Bai and had a son named as Damodar Rao. Unfortunately, few months after the marriage, Damodar Rao passed away. So after the birth, Damodar Rao passed away. This completely shook Gangadhar Rao and Rani Lakshmi Bai. Now Gangadhar Rao had a cousin named as Vasudev Rao, and Vasudev Rao had a son named as Anand Rao. So what did Gangadhar Rao do? He adopted his cousin's son and he renamed him Damodar Rao because Damodar Rao was his first child. Correct? Few days later, Gangadhar Rao passed away. And at that time, Governor General of India was Lord Dalhousie. And what was the policy of Lord Dalhousie? Doctrine of lapse. The adopted child won't be considered as a legal male heir. And Britishers, now they wanted to extend their territories towards the region of Jhansi under the pro-imperialistic approach through their policy of doctrine of lapse. And at that time, Rani Lakshmi Bai said, मैं अपनी झांसी नहीं दूंगी. I will not relinquish my Jhansi. I will not give up my Jhansi. Correct? Now Rani Lakshmi Bai created a women's brigade referred as Durga Dal, and she fought valiantly against the Britishers. Captain Huge Rose, he was called in to defeat Rani Lakshmi Bai. And Rani Lakshmi Bai was fighting along with Jhalkari Bai. And finally, Rani Lakshmi Bai had to move away from the battlefield. When she moved away from the battlefield, she moved to the region of Kalpi. And Kalpi, it is particularly located in the region of Jalon near UP. Okay? Now she moved towards the region of Kalpi in UP. Here she met her friend Tatya Tope. Both of them went to Gwalior. And from Gwalior, both of them came towards the region of Jhansi. Now, how did Captain Huge Rose come to know about this? That Tatya Tope and Rani Lakshmi Bai are moving towards Gwalior. Because there is a place called as Kota Ki Sarai. I repeat, Kota Ki Sarai, which is few kilometers away from Gwalior. Okay. And at this point of time, Captain Huge Rose was waiting along with his, defense force, waiting for Rani Lakshmi Bai. It simply means that somebody has betrayed Tatya Tope ji. And it was Man Singh, the Sardar of Gwalior, who had betrayed Tatya Tope ji. Correct? Finally, it is believed that Rani Lakshmi Bai ji, she fought valiantly. And Captain Huge Rose, like he has said, like what a beautiful statement that he has said, Captain Huge Rose. Remarkable for her beauty, cleverness and perseverance, she had been the most dangerous of all the rebel leaders, the best and the bravest of all. And there's a beautiful saying in the region of Bundelkhand, that is in the northern part of Madhya Pradesh. बुंदेले हर बोलो की मुंह सुनी हमने कहानी थी, खूब लड़ी वो मर्दानी, वो तो झांसी वाली रानी थी. What a beautiful poem dedicated to Rani Lakshmi Bai. So this was a contribution of Rani Lakshmi Bai from the region of Jhansi in Revolt of 1857. Hope so the points are clear, guys. Hope you are remembering these leaders, because questions time and again there have been questions in the examination. Like on one hand, you will have the leaders. On the other hand, you will have the locations. Who led the movement from which place? Okay. Now let's talk about another important lady, Jhalkari Bai. Okay. Jhalkari Bai. Have you seen the movie Manikarnika of Kangana Ranaut? Correct, guys. In that movie, along with Rani Lakshmi Bai, there is another lady who is depicted as Jhalkari Bai. And she looks exactly same to Rani Lakshmi Bai. Correct? Now, Jhalkari Bai, she was born in a Dalit family and she was born to Sadoba Singh and Jamuna Devi. And it is believed that Jhalkari Bai, during her childhood days, she had killed a leopard with a stick, and particularly she belonged to the Kori community or the Kori caste. She was married to Puran Singh. During the revolt of 1857, Rani Lakshmi Bai ji, she has created a women's brigade, a unit of the women's army, and that unit was referred as Durga Dal. The Durga Dal unit of the Rani Lakshmi Bai's army was led by Jhalkari Bai. Correct? And particularly Puran Singh, her husband, was also an active participant in the revolt of 1857. Now, as I've told you a while back, when Rani Lakshmi Bai thought that she has to go back from the battlefield to the region of Kalpi, she left the battlefield. And on the battlefield, there was Jhalkari Bai. As I have told you previously, she looked almost similar to Rani Lakshmi Bai. And when the Britishers caught Jhalkari Bai, they felt that they have actually caught Rani Lakshmi Bai. But later on, Captain Hugh Rose came to know that they haven't actually caught Rani Lakshmi Bai, but she is, basically she looks like Rani Lakshmi Bai ji. And her name was Jhalkari Bai. She was imprisoned by the Britishers and later on she was being released. So this was the role of Jhalkari Bai from the region of Jhansi along with Rani Lakshmi Bai ji. Clear, guys? Kunwar Singh and Amar Singh. You might have heard about both these brothers. Now Kunwar Singh and Amar Singh, these are the talukdars or the zamindars from the region of Jagdishpur, which is located in Bihar. Now during revolt of 1857, Kunwar Singh led the movement from the region of Jagdishpur, particularly in the region of Bihar. He was being supported by his brother whose name was Amar Singh, and there was another person who supported him, and he was commander-in-chief whose name was Hari Krishan Singh. Now initially they acquired the region of Danapur. Danapur, it is located on the confluence of river Ganga and Son. They occupied this region. They occupied the region of Ara. And Brigadier Douglas came to know about this. Now, once upon a time, Kunwar Singh was crossing the river Ganges, and Brigadier Douglas, along with a fleet of few members, they started chasing Kunwar Singh. And when they started chasing Kunwar Singh, it is believed that there was a bullet that hit the left hand of Kunwar Singh. It was profusely bleeding, and Kunwar Singh, he felt that due to infection, he might die earlier. So what did Kunwar Singh ji do? He took out his sword and he cut his left hand. He met the rebels and finally he succumbed to death later on. In his memory, Veer Kunwar Singh Setu Bridge has been inaugurated, which actually connects the north and the south. Kunwar Singh ji, he finds mention in different poems like Jhansi Ki Rani, written by Subhadra Kumari Chauhan, and the play by Jagdish Chandra Mathur, which is referred as Vijay Ki Bela. I repeat, Vijay Ki Bela. It mentions about the role that was played by Kunwar Singh and Amar Singh, the two zamindars from the region of Jagdishpur in Bihar in revolt of 1857. Clear? Bahadur Shah Zafar, General Bakht Khan, Delhi. Rani Lakshmi Bai, Jhansi. Jhalkari Bai, Jhansi. Veer Kunwar Singh and Amar Singh, these are the talukdars from the region of Jagdishpur, Bihar. Okay? Uda Devi. Like we have heard about the name, Begum Hazrat Mahal has led the revolt of 1857 from the region of Lucknow. But have you heard about a lady named as Uda Devi who has also led the revolt of 1857 from the region of Lucknow, although on a small scale? How? Like it is believed that this lady, she belonged to Pasi community, and Britishers army or unit was moving ahead, and she was hiding in a peepal tree. And when Britishers were moving forward, they observed one thing, that in the backward direction their soldiers were getting killed, and somebody is shooting arrow in the downward trajectory. So Britishers thought that somebody is hiding in these peepal tree, and he's shooting the arrow in a downward trajectory. So what did the British officers specifically say? That start shooting in the trees, because somebody is hiding in these trees. And when British soldiers started shooting in the trees, a lady's body fell down, and her name was Uda Devi. So Uda Devi, who belonged to Pasi community, although on a smaller scale, but she had a major contribution in the revolt of 1857 from the region of Lucknow. Avanti Bai, she had a contribution particularly from the region of Dindori or Mandla, that is located in Madhya Pradesh. Okay. Begum Hazrat Mahal. As I have told you, particularly, hundreds of kingdoms were annexed by the Britishers under the pretext of doctrine of lapse. And one among them was Awadh. It was the last to be annexed. And Awadh was annexed on what pretext? On the pretext of maladministration and misrule. Correct? And at that time, in fact, the Nawab of Awadh, Wajid Ali Shah, he had a legal male heir in the form of British Qadir. But still it was being annexed. Nawab Wajid Ali Shah was sent to exile to Calcutta. But Begum Hazrat Mahal, whose original name was Muhammadi Khanum, correct? She said that I am not going to leave Awadh or I am not going to leave Lucknow. Getting the points clear? And she fought bravely against the army of Britishers. And she was being supported by Tatya Tope ji, Ahmadullah Shah and what we say Nana Sahib Peshwa, the Peshwa of Kanpur. Correct? So particularly it is believed that Sir Colin Campbell, he played a very major role in suppressing the revolt from the region of Lucknow. Please remember this. Getting the points clear? So Begum Hazrat Mahal led the revolt of 1857, particularly from the region of Lucknow. Tatya Tope, as I have told you, Tatya Tope, he led the revolt from the region of Gwalior. His original name is Ramchandra Pandurang Tope. He was born at a place called as Nasik in Maharashtra. And Tatya Tope, he worked as a minister in the court of Nana Sahib Peshwa. Tatya Tope, along with Rani Lakshmi Bai, okay, he was moving towards the region of Kota Ki Sarai. If you remember, just we have discussed. So a person betrayed him. And the entire information was being provided to whom? To the Britishers. So Tatya Tope was being betrayed by a person named as Man Singh at Gwalior. Okay. And finally it is believed that Tatya Tope was caught and he was given the death penalty or specifically the death penalty particularly in the region of Shivpuri. Shivpuri jail, it is located in Bundelkhand region of Madhya Pradesh. Got the points? Now, there are contributions by many other leaders. Like I'll give you a small example. From the region of Assam, Diwan Maniram Dutt Baruha, he played a very crucial role in spreading the revolt of 1857 in the region of Assam. Now, what was the role that was being played by Diwan Maniram Dutt Baruha? Now, in the region of Assam, there is a tribe particularly referred as Singhpo tribe. And Singhpo tribe, it is involved in cultivation of tea. Now, Diwan Maniram Dutt, initially he was loyal to the Britishers and he was appointed as a Tehsildar. His family had migrated initially from the region of Kannauj in UP to the region of Assam. They were loyal to the Britishers and Britishers gave him the post of Tehsildar. Now, one fine day, there was a company's officer whose name was Sir Charles Bruce. And Diwan Maniram Dutt gave him the idea for commercial cultivation of tea. Okay, gave him an idea of commercial cultivation of tea. Now, Sir Charles Bruce, he collected few tea samples and took the samples to the British Parliament. And when he took the samples to the British Parliament gave him the permission to establish tea board in India and start commercial cultivation of tea in India. Now, Britishers did not have the knowledge of tea, cultivation of tea. Correct? Because they did not knew what are the geographical parameters for cultivation of the tea. And who was known to this? Diwan Maniram Dutt. Who was known to this? Singhpo tribe. And Diwan Maniram Dutt had a good connection with the Singhpo tribe. So what did Britishers do? Diplomatically, they made Diwan Maniram Dutt as the director of the tea board. They acquired all the knowledge of cultivation of the tea. And Diwan Maniram Dutt had now the intention of starting first commercial cultivation of tea in India as a private trade. And when Britishers came to know about this, Britishers stopped them because it will hurt the monopoly of the Britishers. And when Britishers stopped them, at that time, entire northern part of India was engulfed in revolt of 1857. And Diwan Maniram Dutt Baruha saw this as an opportunity to end the British rule in India. And he now wanted to restore the Ahom rule in the region of Assam. it is believed that Diwan Maniram Dutt and his brother Pyali Baruha both were hanged at Jorhat jail in the region of Assam. So this was the contribution of Diwan Maniram Dutt and his brother Pyali Baruha in the revolt of 1857 from the region of Assam. Another important leader was Surendra Sai. Surendra Sai led the revolt of 1857 from the region of Odisha. Nana Sahib Peshwa, as I have told you, what was a major reason for Nana Sahib Peshwa participating in revolt of 1857? Nana Sahib Peshwa's father, Peshwa Bajirao II, used to get an annual pension of rupees 8 lakh. Now this pension was denied to Nana Sahib Peshwa. In fact, Nana Sahib Peshwa ji sent one of his close associates and friend Azimullah Khan to negotiate with the British Crown. Forget about negotiations. Britishers hardly listened to any of the offers of Nana Sahib Peshwa. So Nana Sahib Peshwa ji had a vengeance against the Britishers. Now there is one more girl's role which played a very major role in revolt of 1857, and her name is Maina Devi. Maina Devi, she rarely finds mention in any of the historical books, and her contribution was exemplary. How? During Sati Chaura Ghat massacre, it is believed that few European children and few European women were made captive by the forces of Nana Sahib Peshwa. And before moving towards the region of Nepal, Nana Sahib Peshwa ji has instructed his daughter Maina Devi that you should release these European women and children after 2 days. Correct? Maina Devi released them. And when Maina Devi, she released them, she immediately moved towards the region of Bithur in Kanpur. Already the British forces had reached the region of Bithur at Kanpur. And there was a captain whose name was Captain Thomas. He was shooting, basically he was trying to destroy the fort of Kanpur or Bithur. He did a massacre in the region of Bithur. And this lady, 13 to 14 years old girl, Maina Devi, she requested the Britishers politely to stop the massacre. Captain Thomas ordered this lady to be captured. She was captured. She was imprisoned for a few days, but later on, in a brutal manner, to create a deterrence in the mind of the people, Maina Devi ji, she was burnt openly. She was burnt alive in front of everyone. So this was a contribution of Maina Devi ji from the region of Kanpur. But her contribution rarely finds mention in the major historical text. And who was Maina Devi ji? Maina Devi ji, she was daughter of Nana Sahib Peshwa ji. Okay. So Surendra Sai, he led the revolt of 1857 from the region of Odisha. Apart from Surendra Sai, Gajdar Singh, he led the revolt of 1857 from the region of Gorakhpur. Liaquat Ali from the region of Allahabad and Banaras, that is present day Prayagraj and Banaras. Maulvi Ahmadullah, he led the revolt of 1857 from the region of Faizabad, presently Ayodhya. Correct? Then Ghulam Ghaus, he led the revolt of 1857 from the splintered part of the region of Madras. Annaji Fadnavis and Tatya Mohite, they led the revolt of 1857 from the region of Kolhapur in Maharashtra. Correct? Then Devi Singh, he led the revolt of 1857 from the region of Mathura. Raja Pratap Singh, he led the revolt of 1857 from the region of Kullu, Himachal Pradesh. Correct? Khan Bahadur Khan, he led the revolt of 1857 from the region of Bareilly, Uttar Pradesh. So these were the important ones and you should note them down. Hope you understood the causes for revolt of 1857. Hope you understood how did the revolt of 1857 spread to the entire northern part of India. And hope you understood the contribution of important leaders in the revolt of 1857. Now let's understand the reasons for failure of revolt of 1857. Like, although revolt of 1857, it engulfed a major part of northern India, why did it fail? First thing, yesterday itself we had seen Renaissance. During the socio-religious reform movements, educated class played a very major role, particularly from the region of Bengal, in sensitizing the masses. This educated class stayed away. They kept aloof from the revolt of 1857. First thing, telegraph system, it benefited the Britishers. The modern postal system, it benefited the Britishers. The railways, it benefited the Britishers. Certain group and classes did not join the revolt of 1857. In fact, it is believed that they remained loyal to the Britishers. Zamindars were loyal to the Britishers. Certain princely states were loyal to the Britishers. Money lenders were loyal to the Britishers. There was lack of planning and coordination among the rebels. Like although Bahadur Shah Zafar ji, he was chosen as the representative of revolt of 1857, but the movement was getting pulled in different direction. Although everyone is fighting against a common enemy, that is English East India Company, but everyone was fighting for their own cause. The sepoys, they were fighting for their own cause. The Zamindar brothers, Amar Singh ji and Kunwar Singh ji, they were fighting for their own cause. Nana Sahib Peshwa ji, he was fighting for his own cause. So although we were fighting against a common enemy, but our purpose was different. Getting the points clear? Apart from this, we were fighting with traditional Indian weapons, lack of proper arms and ammunitions, and Britishers were fighting with sophisticated weapons. Although revolt of 1857, basically it was just confined to the northern part of India, but people throughout India got sensitized. But still it was just confined to northern part of India majorly. Okay? And this became the reason for failure of revolt of 1857. Hope so guys, you understood the revolt of 1857, its causes, its course and the important leaders. Okay? Now, I'll give you an homework. Please comment in the comment section who led the revolt of 1857 from the region of Satara. Revolt of 1857 from the region of Karnataka. Correct? Now, the first question that will crop up in the mind of an aspirant. So, right now you said that revolt of 1857 was confined to northern part of India. I said it was confined to northern part of India majorly. But still in a splintered format, it was prevalent in different parts of India. Like Ghulam Ghaus, I had given an example. Sultan Baksh, he participated from the region of Madras Presidency. Annaji Fadnavis and Tatya Mohite, they participated from the region of Kolhapur in Maharashtra. So please answer who participated from the region of Karnataka. Okay? And Satara. So guys, this was all about revolt of 1857. The Sampurna batch. The offer is closing. The admissions are closing on 15th of March 2025. And basically before 15th of March 2025, avail the benefits of this batch. Okay, now what are the key features? Prelims and Mains Residential Program is one of the key features. Another important feature, if a person who qualifies prelims examination, his fees would be refunded. Apart from this, rupees 11,000 reward to monthly top performers. Interview guidance program is another key factor. And the prices are starting at a very minimum cost of 9,999. So to avail the benefits of Sampurna batch, you can use my code ALOK LIVE, which is flashing on your screen. I repeat, please use the code ALOK LIVE. Hope so guys, you understood revolt of 1857. With this, I stop my words for the day. And before this, happy Holi to everyone. Soon we'll be covering the other parts of modern India after 2 to 3 days. Okay guys, so happy Holi till then. And please do enroll the Sampurna batch by using the code ALOK LIVE. Okay guys, thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.